Salt and light, asin at liwanag. Why among the many metaphors would Jesus use salt and light? You are the salt of the earth. We all know that salt is very useful as a flavoring and a fertilizer, and especially as a preservative in meats. In the ancient times, salt was a valuable commodity. In fact, it was also referred to as white gold. It is so beneficial that the Greeks believed it contained something divine, and the Romans would sometimes pay their soldiers in salt rather than money. A soldier who failed to do his duties was not worth his salt, and their monthly allowance was known as salarium, the Latin word sal, meaning salt. This is also the origin of the English word that we now know as salary. Even the horses in the vast Roman army required salt doing for their daily rounds. Farmers with domesticated animals who are unable to travel freely in search of salt will have to purchase salt for their animals. The Gospel warns us that however beneficial salt may be, it could become useless. Scientifically speaking, we know that salt cannot lose its saltiness. Sodium chloride is a stable compound. So, you may ask, what is the basis for Jesus to say this? Most salt you see in the ancient world was taken from salt marshes, rather than by evaporation of salt water. And because of the manner by which salt is obtained, it contained many impurities. With this, the pure salt is more soluble than the impurities. It could be filtered out, leaving a diluted residue with no value. You are the light of the world. The Gospel also spoke of the light, whose purpose is to shine. In the olden times, they used white limestone structures in a city placed atop of a hill because this will surely be seen gleaming in the sun. Indoors, a lamp that is lit and placed on a stand will undoubtedly provide light to the house. No wonder Jesus used the metaphor of salt and light to talk about how it is to be His disciple. Sabi nga ng isang commercial, may liwanag ang buhay. Wala kahit sino man sa atin ang gusto sa dilim at tabang na pamumuhay. Marahil, ngayong panahon na ito, higit kailanman, mapapahalagahan natin ang asin at liwanag sa mga taong nakakaramdam ng sintomas ng COVID. Inaalam nila kaagad kung sila ay may panlasa. Sa mga taong napakatagal nang naka-quarantine, hangad nila ang liwanag at ang init na mula rito. Salt and light, asin at liwanag. When Jesus tells us to be the salt of the earth, He is calling us to bring a distinctive flavor of God in other people's lives. The life of a follower of Christ is not an easy life. To be a Christian is not a walk in the park. Para bang sinasabi sa atin ni Jesus na kung tayo ay kanyang mga alagad, tayo ay dapat maging asin. Isang preservative. We are called to preserve human society to keep it from spoiling. But honestly, this work is not a popular one. When we work for God, we are not heroes. We are not stars in a lead performance. Neither should we take a central role. Notice that the work of salt and light are hidden. Quite opposite of the attention that comes with power, control, authority, and riches, which are most what people would like to possess. Salt, when used to make flavorful dishes, becomes effective as it mixes with the natural flavor of other ingredients. Now, light, when enters a house, enables us to see what is inside of it. But it does not change the house. Instead, it allows us to see the beauty of the place. We are salt of the earth and children of the light. This is a difficult task, but is definitely attainable. Someone showed us how to be salt and light during a tumultuous age in the church. Saint Dominic de Guzman, whose feast we celebrate today, our patron saint as Dominicans, is a model of salt and light. He was a humble servant of God. Being born from a well-off family, he could have given him all the authority and power anyone could long for. But Saint Dominic knew what Jesus wants him to do. Salt and light, asin at liwanag. Such was the gift of Saint Dominic to the Church when he founded the order. Now we know as the Dominicans. He knew that it was not him who will unravel the mission of preaching. Not him, but Jesus Christ, his Savior. He didn't write anything, not because he does not have the gift of writing. After all, Father Dominic was an intellectual, an excellent preacher, having converted many heretics during his time. So, you might ask, why did he not write anything? Well, personally, I believe Father Dominic knew that as salt and light of the earth, his mission is to let the distinct flavor and light of Jesus be experienced by others. I could imagine that Father Dominic may have wished his name to be forgotten because he has done his work. He founded the Dominican order, the Dominican family, to continue on and be light of the world, keeping alive the light of Jesus' teaching and in enkindling the fire of charity throughout the world. Sa mga panahong walang lasa, pangit ang panlasa, hindi makalasa. Sa panahong madilim, nagdidilim, may naghahasik ng dilim. Tayo ay may responsibilidad sa isa't isa. Hindi yaman, hindi popularidad, o dami ng likes at shares ang basihan ng pagiging Kristiyano. We are called to be salt and light. Ang hamon ng Panginoon maging asin at liwanag. As Dominicans, as Christians, may we, like Saint Dominic de Guzman, obey God and do His will, to serve as preservative and light, to see the hidden hope of glory that is in us despite the darkness that engulfs us.